Because of that, fuck weed, nigga. Why do I say that? Cause I got fucking laced, nigga. Cause I got fucking laced. That's why I say that. And yo, peace and high vibes. What's good with y'all? It's your man DM9 back with another production. Y'all see by the title what we finna get into. Turn on my post notice to keep up with me. And yeah, man. Y'all see by the thumbnail what we finna get into. All right, I'm gonna give these quick disclaimers. All right, this one disclaimer is excuse my irritability. All right, like I said, well, first, I don't smoke anymore. All right. And when you put down the weed, you're gonna go through a little bit of irritability. But let alone the fact that I got fucking laced, you're really gonna go through some irritability, nigga. I'm gonna get into this shit. And second disclaimer is I'm making this video. I plan on streaming, all right? I plan on streaming. I've already changed my name to DM9 Live, as y'all see. I plan on streaming. So I'm making this video as if I'm already streaming. I'm being raw and uncut because that's the best way for me to express myself. That's the way I feel best expressing myself. I hate the way you gotta curate yourself and curate content for YouTube and social media these days. Fuck it, nigga. I'm about to be as vulgar and expressive as possible. I ain't gonna see it. I ain't about to Samuel L. this shit. But you already started. But yeah, bro, like I'll be eating on this motherfucker. I'ma drink in the middle of the video, all types of shit, bro. We in this motherfucker like we chopping it up and having a conversation, all right? So without further ado, let's get into the topic, man. So why do I say I'm growing tired of weed? Let's get into this first. There is no more real weed out here. Unless you know a grower and he's supplying on some big meat shit or whatever, there's no more real weed in circulation, nigga. Why do I say that? Cause I got fucking laced, nigga. Cause I got fucking laced. That's why I say that. And I religiously copped from dispensaries at one point. And the THC potency is increased. So, oh, it's a better product. It's a better high. You're gonna be fried. I promise, bro. Just blaze up. I promise. You know what I'm saying? They increase the THC potency crazy. So you can get as fried as possible, right? And they reduce the CBD amount as much as possible because you can't increase both at the same time, essentially. So CBD is the actual medicinal part of weed. So when we talk about, oh yeah, bruh, it's healthy, it's good for you, it's medicinal, it cures cancer, it relieves anxiety, it helps with depression. All of that shit. It helps with relaxation. All of that shit. That's the CBD, not the THC, my nigga. The THC is more harmful to the brain rather than the CBD. All right, the THC is what gets niggas fried. So when they fuck up the balance of these two chemicals, this shit's unnatural. It's not real anymore, nigga. The fuck is niggas smoking? And then when you increase the THC potency that much, do the research. I'll put up a screenshot myself, bro. You take too much of THC, then you're really fucking your brain up, nigga. This is why motherfuckers smoke and be dead stuck, because they brain is off for real. Brains be dead stuck. Niggas get awkward, niggas lose social skills. And I'm not just talking for myself and I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm just speaking to the many that I've seen. You feel me? Motherfuckers smoke this shit and just be dead ass fried. And the way it affects me, right? The way it affects me is what I just described in a sense. All right. My brain feels like it gets shut off. I don't have I'm not witty. I don't have any conversation skills. What else, nigga? I don't think clearly. The short-term memory is crazy. Like, it's just awful, nigga. And then the fact that I got laced. Bro, I take accountability because I've known that street weed is laced. I've known this shit since like October, September, nigga. When I was in Atlanta, bro, first of all, I'm gonna say this. Street weed in big cities, I think, is laced, all right? Street weed in big cities. ATL and DC are the only two places I can speak on. But when I was in ATL in October, September, I copped off this one plug, 3.5. He told me 3.5 for 25. That was the first thing that I needed to see. Because nigga, it's 2025. We are in a silent depression. Niggas are going through it. There's no reason in hell a 3.5 should be less than a fucking haircut right now. All right, 2019, a 3.5 was probably 40, 35, depending on where you at, cola, you know what I'm saying? But 2020 hit, Za hit the streets. That Zaza bubble was fucking crazy, and that jump bursted fast. Niggas was charging 60 for a 3.5. Y'all remember that shit? That shit was crazy. That shit blew me, and I was in the military, nigga. That shit blew the fuck out of me how much niggas was charging. So you mean to tell me, after all of this pandemic inflation and debasement of the currency, devaluation of the dollar, all of this shit, you mean to tell me after all of this shit, you charging 25 for a 3.5, nigga? Come on, bro. That's some bullshit weed. That's some bullshit weed. There gotta be some OG. You know what I'm saying? There gotta be some OG. Gotta be some huff. Gotta be some bullshit, right? So, knowing that, I still went and copped it. Smelled strong as shit. Then I smoked it. Tasted weird as shit. Tasted weird as shit. When I got high as fuck in like 4 puffs. Nigga, I have a high tolerance, bro. I just smoked the day before. It hasn't even been 24 hours. I should not be this high. All right? And then let me touch on the fact that it was $25 again, nigga. They make it $25 because it's the same benefit at having a cheap subscription service. You like it, you need it, you gonna come back because it's cheap. So they increase your dependency on it by spraying opioids or fent on it. And they make it appealing because it's only $25. So yeah, bro, smoke that shit, and it's like, at that point, I knew like, nah, this shit is not good. This shit gotta be fake. This shit gotta be laced, bro. What the fuck? Crumbled this shit up, threw it away. Next day, I was genuinely fiending for another hit. That's when I knew, okay, yeah, let me get the fuck out of Atlanta for one. And two, definitely gotta stop smoking because this street weed is fucking laced. And like I said, I take accountability because I've said this to myself time and time again. You feel me? I've said this to myself time and time and time and time and time again. All right? Because I shouldn't be able to have this story, and I shouldn't be able to talk about when I copped some laced weed in DC. So, nigga, I was on U Street and met some random nigga on that motherfucker, copped some gas off him. It was 30, 3.5 for 30. Shit still don't add up. You know what I mean? Shit still don't add up, but okay. I just wanted to smoke, so I just didn't even think about it. Rolled that motherfucker up. Once again, smelled strong as shit. Tasted weird as shit. High within the first 6 puffs. High as fuck within the first 6, 7 puffs. Peeped that shit was laced. Threw it away. At that point, I'm very sure they dropping laced weed in big cities. They dropping this shit in big cities, mo. So continue the story about how I most recently got laced. Like I said, I knew when Shawty told me that her shit was 25, I knew to myself, I said it out loud to myself, oh yeah, this shit gotta be laced. But I still gave it a chance. I didn't give a fuck. I can only be mad at myself for real. But I still just naturally got this irritability because of these fucking withdrawals. So I don't give a fuck, nigga. So yeah, I can only be mad at myself about this, all right? But copped it off her. Once again, smelled strong as shit. My friends was telling me, oh yeah, now you got a cop off her, bro. Her shit good as fuck, bro. I'm telling you, I was gone, bro. I was fried, bro. Just, you know what I'm saying, gassing her up. So when she told me her shit was 25, I was really like, oh yeah, no, this shit gotta be laced. Copped it anyway. It tasted weird. Was high as fuck within the first few pulls, and didn't throw it away. I didn't throw it away. I kept smoking, knowing what that shit was. I blame myself, all right? I blame myself because in my head, I wanted to be delusional, for real. I wanted to be delusional. I wanted to just be like, yeah, nah, maybe this shit not laced. Maybe this shit really just some gas. So smoked that whole 8, copped again, and then after that, I stopped smoking because just got on my shit. We're going to talk about Doomies too and how it has genuinely helped with the cravings. And so yeah, I stopped smoking again. and I only smoked 7 grams in total. All right, only smoked 7 grams in total. I thought to myself, well, I mean, that can't be too bad. That can't be too much or too bad to build a opioid dependency and have some crazy withdrawals off the laced shit. I'm thinking to myself, I hope it's not laced at all, goddamn. And boom, couple of days go by, and I get sick as fuck. On Friday, I got sick as absolute hell. I ain't gonna hold you. That was the worst night of my life. I was thinking to myself, nigga, do I have COVID? What the fuck is going on? And then I searched up because I had a feeling that, I mean, this is probably just the withdrawals. I know you go through withdrawals when you stop smoking weed. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm gonna go through a little bit of weed withdrawals, but I've experienced those before. It's never that intense. I know a couple of people who was on them fake perks, them fent perks, you mean? And when they talk about they withdrawals, if you don't know, like if you haven't been through that shit, you have no idea how grimacing, how agonizing, how much like I didn't get to this point because, like I said, it was only 7 grams. My dependency wasn't that strong. My withdrawals wasn't like that bad. For Fent, it wasn't that bad. But oh my fucking God, that was the worst thing I ever experienced. The worst shit I ever fucking experienced. And if you haven't been through that, you have no idea how bad that shit truly is. And what I went through is only a fraction. It's only a fraction of what actual opioid users and fent addicts go through, nigga. So after that night, I was thinking to myself, bro, there's no way in hell. Like, I know I'm not sick because I'm going through body aches, crazy, headache, fucked up. Like, I was sick a lot as a kid, so I know what the flu feels like, and it's never been that intense. I had COVID twice. It was never that intense. So I'm thinking to myself, like, nah, this shit can't be nothing regular, yo. So I started searching up on ChatGPT, what are fentanyl withdrawal symptoms like? Headache, nausea, diarrhea, lack of appetite, restlessness and insomnia, restless leg syndrome, muscle aches, joint pain, joint aches, everything that they named, I was going through. And it was, they talk about it like it's like a severe case of the flu. That's exactly what I was going through. So once I saw that, it officially dawned on me, damn, I got fucking laced. And it's not even that this is my first time experiencing this shit. It's not. It's the fact that I actually doubled back on it. You feel me? So I'm growing to hate weed because there's no more real weed out here. Let alone the fact that me and weed just don't get along, nigga. Just don't get along. Like, it does not benefit me. It does not help me. It has only been a deterrent to my success. Like, it genuinely makes me lazy, and I always try to like combat the feeling of laziness and the feeling of I don't give a fuck. I try to be like them other productive motherfuckers who can still smoke, but I gotta accept the fact that, nigga, that's just not my body, mo. That's just not my body, and it is what it is. You feel me? And because of that, fuck weed, nigga. Genuinely, bro, fuck this shit. Because real weed, yeah, it might not have the same terrible effects of the unnatural shit, the chemically unbalanced weed, and it might not completely fuck you up and make you dependent on it like this laced weed that's out here. But it still fucks me up. It still slows me down. It still harms me more than it actually helps me. And then let alone the fact that what the fuck can I get from weed that I can't get from doomies? That I can't get from microdosing in GTA, of course. Absolutely fucking nothing. And we gonna get into this at a later date in another video, but you know, I ain't even gonna get too far into it. Just know I'm your OC Doomies, man. All right, I'm your OC Mushroom, man. All the way, nigga. All the fucking way. And then I think another reason I hate weed is how much of a dark horse it was. Like, not a dark horse, that wasn't the right word. A Trojan horse, yeah. How much of a Trojan horse it was, because you think it's such a good thing. You think it's such a good, like, you think there's nothing wrong with it. You think it's acceptable. You're like, oh, bruh, it's just a plant, you know? Just smoke. Just get high, bro. Just relax. It's just a plant. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not just a fucking plant, because tobacco is a plant, and look what that shit do. You know what I mean? So, yes, it's a plant. It comes from Mother Earth, but nigga, poison ivy comes from Mother Earth too, nigga. Not everything that comes from the earth is meant to actually help you, believe it or not, nigga. So, it's the fact that that shit really acted as a Trojan horse to society, because try to take weed away from Marylanders, nigga. Try to take weed away from the DMV, where it's legal in all 3 sections of this motherfucker. We just might storm the Capitol building, nigga. Because it's been brought to us on such an abundant scale, but we have no idea how much it's slowing us down. All right? You can become so much more productive. You can have so much more dictatorship over your mind. That's definitely not the word I wanted to use. But you can have so much more control over your mind and your life if you stop smoke, if you stop getting high, if you stop smoking weed, fool. Like, it doesn't sound crazy, nigga. Actually, it doesn't sound crazy. It just sounds so, like, off the wall and out of the box or whatever, and just against the public and popular opinion. But you put this shit down, you stop suppressing so many things in your brain. All right, you stop what is it? It's the amygdala. All right, you stop frying your amygdala as much. You stop frying your frontal lobe and your prefrontal cortex, which is in charge of you making decisions, rational thoughts, XYZ, ABC. You start to promote gray matter production in the brain again. You start to promote neurogenesis and the production of neurons in the brain again. You start to promote better neuroplasticity in the brain. I'm not making shit up. You know how back, like, last decade, when they used to say, oh yeah, you know, weed kills brain cells if you smoke it. You know how they used to say that? It's fucking true. Smoking weed is not good for the brain. If you stop, you'll notice a completely different version of yourself. And this is another reason why I started to grow to hate weed, is because I had a false perception of myself for the longest time. Why did I have a false perception of myself? Because as somebody with so much ambition, when I have a lack of discipline in something, it fucks up my energy and it fucks up the way I see myself. But a conclusion I came to when I microdosed the other day, and when I microdosed, it felt like my real identity just bursted out of me like a phoenix from the ashes. And I want to change my name to Phoenix 9. I just don't want to rebrand again, bro. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think, if I should rebrand my shit to Phoenix 9. But back to the subject. Yeah, I felt my real self and my true identity and who I actually am just burst out of me. And then I realized, nigga, the last like 3 years or whatever, when I've been on and off sober and haven't been sober for longer than 2 months at a time, I'm looking at myself like the majority of the, how can I say this eloquently? Let me think about it while I eat the rest of this. This shit getting cold. Some mushroom patty melt, bro. Oh shit. Sorry for talking with my mouth open. I'm not one of them. I'm sorry for talking while my mouth is full. I'm not one of them. So because I'm under the influence of something and I'm not sober for the majority of the time, that means majority of the time, I'm seeing myself as something that I'm not. And I'm affirming to myself things that aren't actually true about myself, because the real you is who you are when you're sober. You feel me? The real you is who you are when you're sober. So the majority of these last 3 years of my life since I've been out the military, I've been high and I've been going against my word. I've been going against myself. And because of that, I developed a false identity, a false perception of myself that just wasn't true to who I am. And then when people would see me and I'd be sober and they say, bruh, you disciplined as hell, you and your masculine, this, that, the third, say all these things about me, I wouldn't see it. I wouldn't see it as true because I've gotten so used to seeing myself as something else. So where when I'm sober, I didn't even recognize my actual identity. You feel me? So I'd say, so that's another reason why I've grown to hate weed, is because, and look, I take full accountability, like I said, but this shit, my relationship with this shit has kept me from who I actually am. And when you're not in touch with your actual identity and you're perceiving yourself as something that you're not, you're always gonna manifest things in your life that you don't want. You feel me? Because you're always manifesting. You're always manifesting. But if you have a false identity of yourself, that identity is gonna manifest its own reality, and you go through like some type of I don't know what the word is, maybe cognitive dissonance. You go through some type of like identity crisis or just deep cognitive confusion, because you're not happy with what you have, but you don't understand why you have it, but you also aren't in touch with who you actually are. So, excuse me, all of this shit, I have a lot of moments like that where I low-key like freeze and forget what the fuck I was saying. I blame it on the weed, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? I blame it on the weed. All right, I wasn't doing that when I was in high school before I smoked, nigga. Nah, real shit though. All right, real shit. I hate that I forgot what I was just talking about. I'm gonna have to put a fork in it. I'm sorry, but before I even started smoking, I like thinking back to that version of me, right? When I wanted to be in the NFL, nigga, I used to be outside in sub-zero temperatures, grinding, practicing, working every single fucking day. I was mad disciplined. When I was in AIT and I had no access to weed, I got in shape like shit. I was mad disciplined. Stuck to a healthy diet. I was mad disciplined, yo. And it's something that I just realized about myself. Like, nah, when I was sober, I was really like disciplined as fuck. I had and I've been noticed this. My memory was so much sharper. So much sharper. And then down the line, like I just noticed that it got worse and my memory just ain't what it was when I was young. You feel me? So more reasons as to why I've grown to hate weed is I've learned a lot about the brain and I want to protect what I have, bro. What are you if your brain ain't functioning right? You feel me? Let alone the fact that your brain ain't even fully matured until you're 25. So I value my brain's health, and something that I just gotta come to terms with. And maybe the people watching this, y'all gotta come to terms with this shit too. If you have not gotten what you want out of life yet, but you still smoke on the consistent, you need to come to terms with this shit too. Weed harms you significantly more than it helps you, if it ever helped you with anything. You convince yourself that it's helping you with shit, but it's really not. That's just the excuse you give so you can go on a binge. So yeah, bro, that was a multitude of reasons as to why I hate weed, man. I wish I could remember that last reason that I forgot. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, nigga, I blame it on the weed for me spacing out like I do sometimes like that. Yeah, bro. Doomies is the way. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Psilocybin is the way. Psilocybin is the key. And we gonna get into this at a later date, maybe in a video coming soon. But microdosing twice already. You know, when you take when you going through these withdrawals, the cravings are gonna be fucking crazy, right? I haven't had any, not at all. You know what I attribute that to? Microdosing, because it repairs your brain chemistry, because it repairs your neuroplasticity. Yes, psilocybin. You want to change yourself? Search this up. You know what? I'm not even gonna say search this up. I'm gonna put this in your fucking face. All right. Psilocybin, what it does to the brain. You know what? This isn't part of the video, but I'll still say this. Psilocybin, what it does to the brain and to neuroplasticity is it makes your neuroplasticity resemble that of a child under the age of 7. When the child is in their formative years and you can program them and their environment is ultimately going to make them who they are. Yes, psilocybin resembles that. When your brain on psilocybin resembles that same brain state. So when you start say affirmations to yourself while you're taking psilocybin, you start meditating while you're taking psilocybin, you start reading and learning new things while you're taking psilocybin, while you're microdosing on a consistent basis, you are gonna notice a complete restructure of who you are. All right. So I wanted to say that real quick because that's another reason why I've grown to hate weed, because I never had consistent access to the doomies. All right, I've never had consistent access, but now that I have consistent access, I can have a much different relationship with it. I'm not operating out of scarcity with it. So I can look at it like, all right, bet I'm gonna just microdose and use this to repair my brain. And then seeing how this has already helped me has only increased my distaste for marijuana, for cannabis, for weed, nigga. So yeah, bro. I'm really sick that I thought I was sick, but I'm really pissed that I got laced, bro. I was really upset with myself, but